guys, welcome to Destination Drifter. Today I'm going to be giving you the details of my finances while backpacking through Europe. So I normally don't like to talk about finances, to be honest. I'm a pretty private person, but finances with long-term traveling is a topic that I get asked about a lot and a lot of people are just curious about. So I figure I'm going to share with you guys how I spent, where I spent all of my money when I backpacked for 2 months through 8 different countries in Europe. First off, I will say I'm a little more comfortable talking about this just because of how I made the money that I spent on this trip. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but sometime in high school I just started a Europe fund, and every time I would do some work for my parents, do some work on the side, or once I moved to LA, do a little bartending an event or something, I would just take all the money I got from that, all the little extra money that I would make somewhere, and put it into this fund. Also, as far as getting some of the supplies for it, like backpacks and locks and stuff, I would take birthdays and Christmas as an opportunity to ask for those things, some of which I also, of course, bought myself through saving up. Anyway, point is, I feel more comfortable talking about this because it wasn't through a regular, here's my income sort of thing. I really did save up for this trip for years and years and years. So most of this video I'm going to be discussing everything in US dollars since that is my most common currency. A couple quick notes. Before I left for the trip, I pulled out $189.36 worth of Norwegian krones and euros because those were going to be my first 2 stops in Norway and in Ireland. So I just want to make sure I had a little bit when I got there. And for the rest of the trip, I would take cash out of an ATM every couple of days, depending, since I was changing currencies sometimes. And I didn't want to pull it all out at once in fear of getting robbed because pickpocketing does happen. So basically, I mostly paid cash for this trip. Alright, so let's get to the part you're really waiting for, the amount. So I've organized this video in 4 different ways. Spending money, mainly just food, activities, as well as honestly I paid for most of my hostels. We'll get more into that later, but I paid most of the hostel prices in cash. That's also a lot included in my spending money. But I also did a lot of couch surfing, so I honestly didn't spend a crazy amount on accommodations. So anyway, category 1, spending. Category 2, transportation. Category 3, accommodations. And category 4, bank fees. So my first stop was Oslo. As I said before, I pulled out Norwegian krone before I left the state, so I didn't have to go to any ATMs there. I believe I pulled out around 30 to 40 US dollars worth of Norwegian krone. And then also while I was there, I had to get, I believe, a bus pass and a train pass, just around the metro city. Anyways, I had 2 other charges on my card from Oslo, one for $10.69 and the other for $11.03. I did get lucky while I was there because I couch surfed. I spent 2 nights, arriving later in the day. One night, the first night, my host cooked me dinner, so that was free. Second night, my group of friends also bought my dinner because they knew how expensive Norway was. Otherwise, I think the burger I had probably would have put me at around $18. But in total, one day in Oslo essentially didn't cost me more than $50. That's probably not normally the case, so maybe prepare a little more if you're going there. Destination 2 was Dublin. From the ATM in Dublin, I took out $333.77. Note, I was, of course, planning to go to a bunch more countries that took euros, so I wasn't afraid to take out a little more than I had expected for a couple days in Dublin, so I didn't necessarily spend it all in Dublin. And I had already taken out probably around $100 or more in euros. Next, I ended up taking a last decision trip up to Northern Ireland, taking a tour bus, just a day trip up to Northern Ireland from Dublin. Since Northern Ireland is part of the UK, I did have to, in order to buy things there, I had to take money out of an ATM, which the amount I took out ended up being $134.99. This was because I was about to go to the UK in 2 days anyways, so I figured I might as well take out more than I need. Little did I know that Northern Ireland pounds do not work in England, so this is a tip, you just remember that. So when I got to England, I had to pay another currency fee in order to change my Northern Irish money into English pounds. So I can't say exactly how much I spent in Northern Ireland, but I'm pretty sure it was probably only $20 or $30 to be honest. From Northern Ireland, I returned back to Dublin, and I believe the next day I flew out into England. I spent 2 weeks in England, which ended up costing me $869.55. Next I went to Paris, which again, it's euros, so I wasn't quite as shy about taking money out with it. So for 1 week in Paris, I ended up spending $559.85. Next up, I went to one of the world's most expensive countries, Switzerland. Spending a week and a half traveling through Switzerland, I ended up spending $995.53. My bad. Now some of this price is because throughout the rest of Europe, I'm using the Eurail pass, but Switzerland doesn't accept the Eurail pass, so I did also have to buy train tickets with this money that I use cash, so I'm not including that in my transportation costs, and rather in my spending costs, since I did pay for that with the cash that I had there. I also was fortunate enough in Interlaken. My parents bought me a hang gliding session as one of my birthday presents, since my dad had gone hang gliding when he was in Switzerland and told me I needed to do it. And from hang gliding, I ended up meeting a group of hang gliders and paragliders, became friends with the paragliders, and one of them ended up giving me a free paragliding ride during my stay. Next up, I went to Germany for, I believe, 4 nights. In Germany, I spent $168.54, plus $40.10 to Vodafone UK because I had to re-tap up my SIM card, my prepaid SIM card that I had, which the SIM card's original cost was in my UK cost. But a month had passed and I needed to re-top up, so this cost was included in my German cost. After Germany, I decided to make kind of a random turn up back to the UK for a long weekend, so I think I was there either 3 or 4 nights, and I spent $271.80, plus there's a random like $6 something Vodafone charge again, which doesn't make sense because I was actually in the UK then, but I don't know. So after my long weekend in England, I went back down to Austria. Here I only spent $55.61. And I was in Austria for 3 nights in Vienna. And lastly, I moved on to the Czech Republic, where I spent 1 week and pretty much definitely did drink every single day. I spent money on alcohol and did not go cheap with the food, and bought all my souvenirs there because it was my last stop. But I love Eastern Europe because even a week of just being slightly reckless, I still only spent $240.20. So the total of all of this is $3,732.53. The next up is transportation. I flew Norwegian Airlines for $458 into Oslo from LAX. My flight back from Europe, from Prague, layover in Oslo, back to LAX, was what is now showing as $609 US. But to be honest, I can only find the price that I paid in euros, which was 521 euros at the time. And at the time, I think the exchange rate was actually more beneficial to Americans. So I'm pretty sure I paid a little bit under $600 for this flight back. This being said, you can 100% find way cheaper tickets now. When I took this trip, it was right before WOW Airlines started doing their $99 deals from LAX to Europe and everything, which literally I booked it and they came out maybe 2 months later. I should have waited, but whatever. At least I didn't have to fly WOW, right? Anyway, this is just what I paid for it, but you definitely can find way cheaper prices. And I also checked a bag, got a meal, picked my seat. Had to be a little bougie, right? I also flew Oslo to Dublin, which I can't actually find the price for that one, but it was definitely under $50. So we're gonna count it at $50, but I'm pretty sure it was actually less. And that was on Scandinavian Airlines. My flight from Dublin to London was $77.61 on Aer Lingus. I also took a couple trains in the UK that were not included on Eurail because the UK is not involved in Eurail. One was $44.87 and the other was $13.02. For $234.35, I took the Eurostar from London straight into Paris. My camera stopped recording halfway through. Isn't that the best? Now it's gotten a little dark out, so I apologize for the bad lighting. Anyways, total transportation was $1,858.95. So next is accommodation. As I mentioned previously, most of the hostels that I stayed at was paid out of my spending money, but Hostel World, which is what I booked a lot of my hostels through, does take out a little bit. I'm not sure how much, like 20 or 30%. For the most part though, I couch surfed most of this trip, so accommodation was free, and I most of the time just bought my host or something, drinks or food or something, so that a lot of times came out of my spending money. But my total for the hostels ended up being $83.51. Like I said, just for the Hostel World fees, and I believe one of them I actually booked completely on my credit card, which was the most expensive one, which was in Zurich, and that was $47.51, which I actually didn't even end up staying at because I stayed another night in Lucerne and was under the 24-hour cancellation policy time when I tried to cancel. I also stayed at a hotel for 2 nights during this trip, and that was just to celebrate my birthday, and I split the cost with a friend. I don't remember 100% what it was because I'm pretty sure I gave him cash, which is why I probably took about $150 out of my UK spending money for this, so bringing that back, that's where $150 approximately of that went, was to my friend for the hotel. And lastly is my least favorite section, the fees. I ended up paying in bank fees $106.09. Moral of that story is make sure you have a card or a bank that does not charge foreign transaction fees, because you could save $100. It would be a lot worse if I had paid for everything on my card, but that is the reason why I was paying cash for everything, and why I would just take money out of the ATM, because it would charge me $5 every time I took money out, plus normally a foreign transaction fee, but overall it's those $5 ones that really added up. Anyways, I hope I help you guys with planning your trip, or if you're just being nosy and curious and want to know people's finances, because I know I sure like to watch videos like that, even if I don't really like to share that most of the time. But either way, I hope I helped you out a little bit. You can definitely do this trip way cheaper than I did, or you can do it way bougier than I did. I went pretty budget / middle of the line for this, but I splurged in some areas, and areas like accommodation I really tried to save. So really, this was just my trip, 2 months, just under 2 months, in 8 different countries throughout Europe. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, tip videos, travel vlogs. Going to Palm Springs tomorrow, so that's probably what's coming up next, and Washington next week, so a little Northwest action. And I will see you guys at the next destination, Palm Springs, where I will probably be wearing this dress. That's definitely why I'm wearing it right now, is because I was packing and just felt like wearing it. Peace.